amount of shenanigans I see on the internet nowadays is just really boggling. It's left versus left, right versus right, right versus left, left versus right. It's really getting to the point where everything's just the same madness. I see streamers who have been streaming for quite some time, especially in the LGBTQ community, who are slandering, harassing, bullying other LGBTQ streamers to the point of trying to get them off the internet, cancel them, and or get them fired. For example, I see, and I know a lot of the things that Latino has done is very controversial. But I see Buck Angel, Blair White, and Brad Palumbo all doing these things to try to cancel her, like going to their manager, the very thing that she is accused of doing while she is at restaurants. Although they accuse her of trying to get people fired, there has been no evidence to show that any of the employees and what she has complained about has been fired. She might have talked to the manager. Their managers might have taken it with a grain of salt and just let it slide, saying this person's acting crazy, but there's no evidence to show that those employees were fired. The things that she did at the park were not tolerable, and Disney has their own rules and standards on that. But it's just like, for example, Blair White's this person who tries to shame other people, but then she goes to gay pride parades trying to shame drag queens who are there for a career, trying to make income, and taking pictures of their pantyhose. Most drag queens pad, or most drag queens will wear 3 to 4 pantyhose to cover up their leg hair if they don't shave, or if they trying to present curves. And Blair White has been kicked out of those pride parades for that reason of sexually harassing other people. Because even though a drag queen she will constantly use man to accuse people. And by the way, she is a male. She has openly told everybody she still has a member. Her partner is in a homosexual relationship with her. One common argument you can make is fat people have boobs. Blair White might have the pads down here are the presentation of a woman, but fat people have boobs too, and a penis. So her husband or her boyfriend claims to be straight, but he's in a relationship with a male. As Blair White has told everybody that she's still male, she's not a woman, and he's in denial about his sexuality. I mean, that's one common thing you can pick up. The other thing that Blair White has been doing is like, there's one comment I made to Buck Angel about my brother's wife's being harassed for her miscarriage of my nephew's twin, which actually I guess was a situation where she was supposed to have twins, but then I guess the embryo absorbed the other twin, and then it just ended up being one baby. And so that situation happened. And Buck Angel, who, by the way, was a porn star, and one could argue he tricked a butch female who presents as a male, tricked a bunch of men to sleep with her in the porn industry, gold star gays included. One could argue that, and then she's telling everybody that they're doing predatorial behavior. That's the way I've been able to interpret it. She's been harassing Blossom. She's been harassing a bunch of other people, a bunch of other streamers or YouTubers. Lily Tino is one of them. And then you have Ty Rivera is harassing Roger all the time and talking about people grifting and trying to shame people for trying to get free money out of people. And yeah, I've seen evidence of them grifting, but that doesn't, two wrongs don't make a right in that situation. You're still trying to shame somebody for trying to make an income, when if it doesn't affect you, then why do you have to use most of your content and base it around them and shaming them? Because they don't just have one video. It's numerous videos of that person and numerous videos of that particular person in which they're trying to shame or just bring up shameful behavior and trying to run them off the platform. It's the very thing that they're arguing Democrats are doing, is trying to cancel or fire people. They're trying to run people off the programs. One example is when Lily Tina went on a break, and then she came back 3 months. So 3 months is a long enough break for people. For example, if you were working, which I guess Lily Tino assumes that her position is work. Oh, and the thing that they always do, so let's finish the thought around the break. So if you're working, usually your work or your employer will give you a break for about maybe a week, and or give you a break for maybe a month of sick time. What I understand is Lily Tino took a 3-month break, and now she's back on the platform. But Buck Angel was just trying to, shame the particular person, telling the person that they belong in jail. Started using the commentary about protecting young ones, little ones, an environment where she's talking about, an operation which you can hear them around, but they're not involved in the conversation. So that's no different from if they were at, for example, in the open public, having that conversation. Because Buck Angel does talk about that, and she's been in the porn industry. She is somebody who openly has those, speeches, and has speeches about it. I think she's won a couple awards. But if she were to have that conversation with her guy friends and or girlfriends in a public situation, and little ones were around, one could argue that's the same thing that Lily Tino was doing. Blair White is having those conversations too, talking about people in inappropriate manners. And although her settings might be a certain way, that doesn't necessarily mean that Blair White wasn't doing it because she wanted everybody to hear what she had to say, and that could include minors. She's in a public platform, and they could see her content, and they could, it could misrepresent exactly that community in which she is trying to shame people for, and trying to present them in a negative or bad light. And she even openly brags about removing the LGB from the TQ. And she even openly, proudly says bye and tells them to go. I know that she is popular. Some people argue that she is popular because she passes, and that's the only reason that she has so much popularity. Although I I have seen Blair White's stuff, and she is quite intelligent. She does have some quite intelligent things to say, but around certain subjects, and she does make good points. Like a lot of those other streamers, like Brad Palumbo, who does make good points, and so does Tyra. But the point of my argument is that they're doing exactly what they're arguing other people are doing. Trying to shame people on platforms, trying to get them fired, trying to get them to lose income from their platform by getting them canceled. Blair White has been canceled off of TikTok. Brad Palumbo's been canceled off of TikTok. I don't know if Ty Rivera has made a TikTok. I haven't seen anything about his stuff on TikTok. But they have targeted Lily Tino stuff on TikTok. And they are flagging her stuff. And I'm sure the stuff that has been deemed inappropriate has been removed. But I mean, those platforms have terms and conditions, terms of services in which they hold all their content to a candle to. So if they haven't seen anything on their platform to be deemed inappropriate and based on public opinion, and what they argue a lot of times is that transgender people are constantly being protected on that platform. And I think the argument more relies on, did they post, as individuals, did they post something that would be deemed against their terms of service? And I don't think Lily Tino has, where Brad Palumbo was considered bullying Lily Tino and got himself removed and permanently banned from the platform. And he has openly bragged about making a fake account or making a burner account and continuing to shame people on the platform. As somebody deems themselves as a normal gay, there's plenty of other normal gay, average Joe gay people who don't believe that they are transgender, who don't believe that they are a certain way, or don't have fake plastic, or hold themselves to masculine machismo and or extremely shallow misogyny views of how they should be gay in a gay community. I mean, obviously they don't quite fit in the bear community, although they probably have a lot of bear friends. I don't know their life. I don't know their social circles, but the bear community considers themselves very masculine. And there's even, adult content formulated around that and the presentation of masculinity. And I mean, the way that they're, what they give off is the presentation of Prince Charming from Shrek, where they're conceited and think that, that their good looks and that they taking time with their parents apparently presents a better representation of the community, and that they have the right to talk mess about other people. And they just rub me off the wrong way, and the way that they just shame or disrespect other people and make jokes or a mockery about it, like teenage schoolgirls, and harassing transgender people who like to be presented in their PGP while they are themselves acting like schoolgirls, or Regina George and the Mean Girls. It's the very thing that the heterosexual community likes to claim that causes them to be turned off by the gay community, because they are bullying each other, they're hating each other from the inside, and they're causing the distance themselves and causing people to distance themselves from our community because it's shallow, shady, full of drama. And that's exactly what you're seeing with these content creators presenting this bridge or this gap and burning their bridges with their allies.